How did you use media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? In the construction of my advanced portfolio, a music video for Vance Joy's song Lay It On Me, I used two Canon DSLR EOS cameras for filming. For most of the first draft and the shots that required pans and quick motion, I used the 750 DSLR camera so the movement would be smoother and the camera could cope better. For small inserts and some of the second draft clips, I used an 1100 DSLR as it did not require such mechanisms of movement as a feature of the shots. The 750 had an EFS 18 to 135mm fixed portrait lens, so I could efficiently film both close-ups for inserts and character expressions, as well as landscapes and locations required for my adventure genre. During post-production, I required a Zoom H4n handy recorder in order to make the dialogue for the opening montage as well as the Foleys, such as the opening and closing of a door after the screen has gone black at the end. For the editing of my advanced portfolio, I used applications of the Adobe Creative Suite. This included Adobe Audition for the audio, such as with the radio feature of the song fading from the old-time radio effect back to the normal music, Adobe InDesign for the ancillary products, and Adobe Premiere to construct videos with the edited sounds and film effects. It was through this utilization I was able to use effects such as filters, transitions, and time lapses. In terms of research using media technologies, I used online resources to look at inspirations for my music video, such as the work of Sebastian Ringler in videos such as You Make Me and Addicted to You by Avicii, and also the work of Isaac Ravishankara in some of his videos for the band The Lumineers, such as their songs Sleep on the Floor and Stubborn Love on YouTube, and by the director's own websites via Google. I used Microsoft Office 365 application of Forms to send surveys out to gain audience feedback, which was online for the audience to participate in whenever was convenient for them and was consistently updated for me to use once I had a sufficient amount of feedback. As for planning, I used Adobe Photoshop in order to create recce's of the different locations I planned on using. Although it was not necessary or completely accessible for me to use many of these locations, either due to continuity of the landscapes or people and vehicles interrupting the shots in popular locations, Photoshop was useful in organising the locations into a recce and then helping me make a shot list. For the shot list, I used Microsoft Word to try and gather some idea as to how many hours I would require to get the shots I needed, and what actions would be during which part of the song to make sure there wasn't any gaps. During the evaluation, I used similar devices as during the construction of my film. As the evaluation of my first draft, I used the 1100 DSL camera for feedback, as well as the Adobe Premiere Pro to piece it together with the audio and add in the subtitles. I also used the Rode mic I attached to the camera to make it easier to get the best audio whilst not requiring my hands, as I needed to read the questions to the audience who were giving the feedback, and I felt I would struggle to use the camera, an audio recorder, and read the questions at the same time. During evaluation question 3, I used the audio recorder to gather audience feedback of my final draft in a concentrated small group whom had just watched the advanced project. For question 2, I used Prezi to make an animated presentation of my answers and be more engaging than a bulk of text or PowerPoint. A similar reason as to why I used Powtoon animation for question 1, where I could make a video rather than an interactive animation like Prezi. As for question 4, I am using an audio recorder for the commentary, Adobe Premiere Pro to collect it together, and Audition to edit the sound.